What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mixed Marvel Arts for another comic book review. Today we'll be reviewing issue number 3 of the incredible miniseries Spider-Man Spider's Shadow by Chip Zdarsky. In the previous issue, we got to see Spider-Man go on an all-out murder spree thanks to his inseparable bond with the symbiote. So Doc Ock met up with the Sinister Six, including a surprise addition to the team in J. Jonah Jameson, to form a plan to defeat Spider-Man. All was going well, until Eddie Brock appeared out of nowhere and murdered Dr. Octopus. So let's go ahead and see what happens next. The issue opens up, and we see J. Jonah Jameson meet with the Sinister Six. He's a bit unsure of his decision to join the team of supervillains. And then Eddie Brock shows up with Doc Ock's arms on, which is just a hilarious touch by the writer, Chip Zdarsky. Turns out Eddie blames Spider-Man for ruining his life. Eddie accused the wrong man of being the Sin Eater, and Spider-Man caught the real guy. This led to Eddie being fired from his reporting job. And the rest of the Six are on board with Eddie Brock taking the place of Dr. Octopus. It doesn't seem like Doc Ock was particularly liked by his teammates. They patiently wait for Spider-Man to show up so they can set their plan into action, while Mr. Fantastic and Captain America discuss Spider-Man's recent murders of 11 people, so the kill count is piling up. Mr. Fantastic blames himself for this. He unsuccessfully tried convincing Spider-Man to end his bond with the symbiote earlier in the series. But then we get to see what Peter's up to for the first time in this issue. He's murdered the Beetle and threw him in the back of his car. In the process, the Beetle revealed where the Sinister Six are located. Peter's just barely able to think independently at this point, and the symbiote convinces him that he's still saving people. During Peter's trip over, Eddie Brock and J. Jonah Jameson discuss Eddie's situation further. Then Spider-Man finally arrives, and in his true murderer state of mind, he hangs the dead Beetle on his webs, and the art is pretty great here. The rest of the Sinister Six begin the hunt for Spider-Man, and they spot him in the trees. Mysterio uses his tech to confuse Spider-Man, but Spidey just goes underground to protect himself. When Kraven notices that Spidey's gone, he uses the symbiote to kill Mysterio on the spot. Next up is the Rhino, who experiences the same fate as Mysterio. Then he defeats Eddie Brock with a single kick, and he's sure to tell Brock that he has no idea who he is. Then he kills Electro, and prepares to finish off the final 2 members of the Sinister Six. But of all the villains, J. Jonah Jameson in a Spider Slayer suit turns out to be his first true test. Jameson manages to hurt the symbiote, and actually gets Spider-Man to speak freely for once. When Jameson sees that Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker, he abandons his plan and saves Peter. It's a truly heroic act, but it almost fails when Kraven nearly kills Spider-Man. Then J. Jonah Jameson saves Peter again by knocking Kraven out. It's a crazy turn of events, and we get to see Peter's thoughts on the recent events that have transpired. It's both refreshing and unexpected to see Peter speak freely, free from influence by the symbiote, in just the 3rd issue of this series. Jameson reveals that Peter killed everyone except Kraven and Brock Ock, which is a hilarious name. But the symbiote is stuck to the back of the van, and Peter can sense that it's still alive. Then we see Jameson bring Peter inside his apartment, right before Mary Jane and the Black Cat get into an argument about who knows Peter better. Peter's not all there, and he has no idea that the Kingpin revealed his secret identity to the world before he was murdered at the hands of Spider-Man in the previous issue. So the police are after Peter Parker, and to cap off this awesome issue, we find out that the symbiote has defeated the entire Fantastic Four and taken none other than Mr. Fantastic as its new host. The symbiote has even been affected by Peter's morals, and it wants to save everyone now. But of course, the symbiote has its own twisted ways of getting what it wants. And that's where the issue ends. It was very entertaining from start to finish, with plenty of exciting twists along the way. So I'm going to rate this issue an 8 out of 10. But if you enjoyed this comic review and want to see more reviews done by me with this very same style, then you're in luck. I've been reviewing as many of the classic Amazing Spider-Man stories from the 60s, and we've already seen some historic moments. I've reviewed Amazing Fantasy number 15, all the way to Amazing Spider-Man number 6. We've seen Spidey face off with villains like Dr. Octopus, the Vulture, the Lizard, and others. And as a little hint for what's to come, Peter and Flash Thompson are going to be getting into a full-on boxing match in an issue coming up very soon. So if you're interested in seeing full comic reviews for some of the greatest Spider-Man stories ever told, written by the legend Stan Lee himself, then check out my Amazing Spider-Man Reviews playlist by clicking the card on the top of your screen right now. I've also linked the playlist in the video description below, so be sure to stay tuned to my channel for upcoming videos. And as for Spider's Shadow, I was shocked that the symbiote split from Peter so early on in this story, and I can't wait to see its next move. What do you guys think of the series so far? And which series by Chip Zdarsky would you say has been your favorite? He's done other great comics too, like Spider-Man Life Story, Marvel 2-in-1, and Daredevil. Let me know in the comments what your favorite is. If you want to hear from me more often, then follow the link in the description to my Twitter page and follow me on there. And if you want to see more comic reviews like this, then hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, throw some comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.